Hey,
Hey Charlie, how you doing, man?
hey, sorry about the wait. I really suck at figuring out Zoom,
All good,
and I'm
dude.
out in I'm in Sturgis right now, like in the middle of nowhere. So the Wi-Fi and signal ain't the best too. But
No,
how
that's
are you?
okay. Yeah, good. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Good. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
So, new album's out Friday.
Yep.
What's the general vibe in the band leading up to a release?
Um, we're excited. I know a lot of bands always say, "Oh, this is our best record," and they don't mean it. But on this one, we really do mean it. Like as far as songwriting is gone goes, like everyone in this band has just evolved and gotten so much better. And this record is mature, but also still fun. It still sticks to our old school roots. So we're excited for everyone to hear the whole thing, especially because they've only heard a song or two here. And I mean, my favorite songs on the record haven't been released yet. So I can't wait for people to hear some of these.
Yeah, sure. Now, the album sort of tells a story about where you've all grown up and lived. Now, it's pretty bleak when you really delve into it. So, can you give the people tuning in today like a snapshot on what you might see day to day where you live?
Yeah, I mean, LA's gotten really bad. The homeless situation, which, I can't blame anyone for being homeless. Los Angeles and all California is just so expensive. It's impossible for anyone, like even like a middle class, like say someone who works for the post office, like they don't make enough money to be able to afford a house. And it's rough there. And the violence has now gone up. I'd find like needles and see people smoking crack like right outside my house. And I have two kids, so we got out of LA. I moved to Nashville now. I live down south, but yeah, it's gotten pretty bad, man.
And okay, so what's the difference? And I know a few people that live in Nashville, but for you, what's the difference between LA and Nashville other than the price and the crime?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot less crime. It's a lot safer. The cost of living is low. The schools are really good. The education system in California ain't the best either. So we mainly moved there for schools, and people are friendly. That's kind of gone away in LA. Like I grew up, people were friendly to each other, but for some reason there's just like a constant anxiety there, and people don't wave and stuff. If you wave, they're like, "What the hell are you waving at? What's your problem, asshole?" Um, where I live in the South, everyone's very friendly.
That's cool. Now, back to the album, you've got a few different producers on this one, and a lot of people say producers can either really heavily influence an album for good or for bad. This one, I don't really see. I just think they've added a little extra spice to the songs. What do you think they brought to the table for you and the band?
For sure. I mean, a lot of producers we've worked with in the past, like you'll tell them your idea and your vision, and they like don't listen because they want to make sure that they're a part of the song and they're throwing their stuff at us and using their ideas when this band like all of us write. So it's good to find a producer who's also a good listener and who can take your ideas and just take them to the next level. And that's what all these guys did on this record. It was a really good experience.
Yeah. Now, again, it's back to that subject matter that the album sort of circles around. Was it hard to tell your story, but still keep a lot of the music and songs positive?
Yeah, for sure. You kind of just go here. There's J Dog. He's got a shirt on. Hey,
Hey,
dog, dude. Um, you kind of just go with what you're feeling at the moment. We don't really like sit around and say, oh, let's write a song about this. It's kind of whatever we're experiencing at the time, whatever we're going through, either personally or as a band or as a state. We kind of just try to touch on those things. And then as far as like keeping it fun, this record has like three party songs, and it's been a while since we've had party songs on an album. So I'm excited for people to hear those.
yeah, and it's funny that I think about the album like what I've listened to it a few times, and there is a story to tell, but there's some really great riffs like throughout it. Like there's some chunky riffs. Um,
For sure.
when the band sits down to write, is it everyone in a room, or does everyone just bring in their little pieces and you just put it in the pot?
That's how it used to be, is either like someone will start a song or have an idea and then bring it. But this time we really didn't do that really at all. It was all like us in a room and the vibe was good. We've gone through so much stuff as a band and we're in such a good place now as friends and brothers and bandmates, that it was a really good positive environment, and that's what I think made the music come out so good.
Yep, and you got a song like Hourglass, which to me really brings out the punk rock roots. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the band's favorite punk bands?
I grew up loving Rancid and No Effects and that kind of stuff. So that was my influence on that. I'm sure everyone else has a different answer for that question. Um, but we've always wanted to make a punk song because we grew up loving punk music, and we've tried before, but it didn't really work out. But we were working with Drew Folk, who, when we went to his studio, had nothing but like punk flyers all over his walls, like 1,000 of them. So we're like, oh, this is the guy to do a punk song with. So we wrote Hourglass with him, and yeah, that one's definitely one of my faves.
And you've got songs like City of the Dead and All Right, which to me, they end out the album, but they're almost like a part one and part two, although they are different songs. Were they written around the same time?
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah, I think they were written back to back. I think you just figured it out. I didn't even know know that they were like they do kind of go with one another for sure.
Yeah, and they sort of put a close to the album, so it was always designed when you were doing the track list that they were going to go together.
No, it wasn't actually. I think it just happened like that. We must have just got lucky. Dumb luck.
That's cool. And then you go to Wild in These Streets, which I actually just played it for my 21-year-old son just before. And
Yeah.
yeah, he had all the moves going down. You should have seen it. But for me, it's like it's heavy riffs, it's the raps. It's like for me, how does the band put all of those elements in without overdoing the song?
Um, Man, on that one was just like, let's just make like a wild ass hip hop song, like 3 6 Mafia style. Like, let's make it street and let's make it heavy and just put as much energy into a song as we can and hope for the best.
Awesome. Now, the one thing I love is the very start to the album, that dial-up modem before it
Yeah,
kicks
yeah,
into
yeah,
chaos. So for
yeah,
me, the internet is chaos within itself. What do you
for
think
sure.
the internet has brought to the band? And what do you think the internet's taken away from the band?
Um, I mean, we got discovered from the internet, so it saved us a lot of time of like, you know, showcasing or going and playing a million shows and hoping to build a fan base. The internet brought us our career, to be frank, and I think one thing that it's taken away is privacy,
Yeah,
which is cool. I mean, that's what it is now. So we'll roll with it.
that's right. And you're out on the road at the moment. So what's the touring plans for the end of the year?
I think we're doing this tour, which wraps up in I think 3 weeks, and then we're doing one more festival. I don't think there's much for the rest of the year. I don't know why, but I know next year we're doing a big tour. I think it might be the same package in February, into March, playing U.S. and a big 2 week Canada run. I know there's talks of going to Australia next year, and then all the big festivals in the UK and Europe and the States too. So I know we're next year is going to be our really heavy touring year.
Cool. And you've also got a song where you're featured on the new Retaliators movie soundtrack. Have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't. I don't even know that.
Yeah. You're someone's a feature on one of the songs, so there you go.
Oh,
So
cool.
movie's out shortly. You should see it. It's really gnarly.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not me or they owe me some money.
So you've already answered the $1 million question of when we're going to see you in Australia. So hopefully 2023.
Yeah, yeah. We've been wanting to get back there for so long, man. So yeah, I can't wait to be back.
Cool. And before I let you go, what do you want to tell everyone tuning in today?
Check out the record. Thank you for the support. Seriously, like our fan base is the most dedicated, loyal fan base like any band could ask for. Um, and check out the new record.
Awesome, man.
And we'll see you in Australia. We'll be down under before you know it.
Thanks, mate. Have a
All right,
great
cool.
day.
Thanks.
We'll see you down
We'll
here
see you
soon.
soon.
Bye.
Good to talk to you, man. Bye.